The possibility of time travel. Have you ever had that feeling? A sudden, inexplicable chill when you walk into an old building. A dream so vivid it feels less like a memory and more like a visit. A moment of déjà vu so powerful it stops you in your tracks. And for a single, heart-thumping second, you are certain you have lived this exact moment before. What if that feeling isn't a glitch in your mind? What if it's an echo? Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we are embarking on the greatest journey the human imagination has ever conceived. We are not sailing across oceans or launching into the blackness of space. We are going to dive into the very fabric of existence itself. We are talking about the possibility of time travel. Now, forget everything you think you know from the movies. Forget clunky metal machines with flashing lights and flux capacitors. The true nature of time travel is far more strange, more beautiful, and infinitely more mystical than any fiction has ever dared to suggest. For centuries, we've pictured time as a river, a relentless, one-way current flowing from the past, through the present, and into the future. We are like leaves caught in its flow, helpless to do anything but drift forward. But what if that's wrong? Modern physics, in its most poetic and mind-bending revelations, suggests a different picture. Imagine time not as a river, but as a vast, frozen ocean, a block. In this block universe, the past, the present, and the future all exist simultaneously. They are just out of reach. Think of your life not as a single point moving along a line, but as a sculpture, a magnificent, intricate structure where your birth, your first kiss, this very moment you're living right now, and your last breath, they all exist, eternally and forever. Your consciousness, your awareness, is simply a flashlight beam moving along this magnificent sculpture. You experience it sequentially, but the sculpture itself is complete. This isn't just a philosophical idea. It's a mathematical consequence of our best understanding of the universe, from the cosmic scale down to the very small. So, if the past and future are already there, solid and real, then the question is no longer if we can travel through time, but how we can learn to navigate it. How do we turn our flashlight beam into a searchlight? The key lies in the fabric of the cosmos itself. We used to think of space and time as separate. Empty space was the stage, and time was the clock ticking in the background. But we now know they are woven together into a single dynamic tapestry, space-time. And this tapestry can be warped, folded, and stitched together in the most incredible ways. The first of these cosmic gateways was proposed by a mind that forever changed our reality, Albert Einstein. His theory of general relativity showed us that gravity is not a force in the traditional sense, but a warp in space-time. A massive object, like our sun, sits in the cosmic fabric, like a heavy ball on a stretched rubber sheet, creating a curve. Now imagine if that ball were so incredibly dense, so unimaginably heavy, that it didn't just curve the fabric, it punctured it. It tore a hole right through the sheet. This is a black hole, a place where gravity is so intense that not even light can escape. But at the very heart of some black holes, according to the mathematics, could lie something even more fantastic. A wormhole, an Einstein-Rosen bridge. Picture this. The universe is a vast, endless piece of paper. You want to get from point A to point B, but it's a billion light years away. Instead of traveling all that way across the surface, you fold the paper and you punch a pencil right through it, creating a tiny, secret tunnel. That's a wormhole, a shortcut not just through space, but through space-time itself. One end could be here and now. The other end could be in another galaxy and in another time. But how do we survive such a journey? The forces at the heart of a black hole, the so-called singularity, would shred any matter into its constituent atoms. It's a one-way ticket to oblivion. This is where the magic, the true potential of future science, comes in. What if we could stabilize a wormhole? What if we could find a way to prop open its throat, to smooth out the violent tides of gravity? Some theories suggest we could use forms of matter and energy we have not yet even discovered, what physicists call exotic matter, with negative energy or negative pressure to act as a cosmic scaffolding, holding the tunnel open for a traveler. Imagine a vessel, not of steel, but of stabilized light and shaped gravitational fields, slipping into this cosmic whirlpool. You wouldn't fly through the wormhole so much as you would be restitched by it. The very information that makes you you, your atoms, your memories, the quantum state of your being, would be translated across the fabric of spacetime and perfectly rewoven at the other end. You would step out into a different where and a different when. But perhaps the most profound and most mystical possibility is that we won't need a machine at all. Perhaps the most advanced time travel device is already inside us. It's our consciousness. Think about your own mind for a moment. Where do you go when you dream? You can relive the past with painful clarity, or you can conjure futures that have never been. In deep meditation, seasoned practitioners speak of losing all sense of time, of experiencing eternity in a single breath. Are these just tricks of the brain, or are they glimpses of a deeper ability, a latent skill we have forgotten how to use? What if time travel isn't about moving your physical body? What if it's about shifting your awareness? In the block universe, your consciousness is the flashlight beam. But what if you could learn to control that beam, to point it anywhere you wanted on the sculpture of your life, to another point in your own timeline, or through a kind of quantum resonance, to another point in the universal timeline altogether? This isn't just New Age speculation. It touches on the most puzzling frontier of science, the relationship between quantum mechanics and consciousness. The simple act of observation in the quantum world seems to collapse possibilities into a single reality. What is that act, if not a function of consciousness? If our mind can influence the building blocks of reality at the quantum level, who is to say it cannot navigate the temporal dimensions of that reality? Consider the stories of mystics and shamans across cultures. They speak of journeying to the past to speak with ancestors, or to the future to read the threads of fate. They use rhythm, focused intention, and altered states to, as they say, step outside of time. What if these are not mere metaphors? What if they are the ancient, intuitive records of the first-time travelers? Not travelers of body, but of spirit and mind. Imagine a future where we have mastered this, not with roaring engines, but in silent, meditative chambers. A traveler lies down, connects to a system that harmonizes with their brainwaves, and then they let go. Their awareness detaches from the now and begins to swim. They could become a silent witness to the building of the pyramids, feeling the desert sun and the collective will of thousands. They could drift forward to see the earth 1,000 years from now, a ghost from a forgotten age, observing the children of a new era. This form of time travel solves the great paradoxes. You are a spectator, a consciousness without physical form in that time, unable to change anything directly. You are there to observe, to learn, to feel. You are reading the book of time, not trying to rewrite it. Ah, the paradoxes. They are the favorite tool of every skeptic, and for good reason. The grandfather paradox. If you go back in time and prevent your grandfather from meeting your grandmother, would you cease to exist? If you cease to exist, how could you have gone back in time to do the deed? It's a brain twister that seems to make time travel logically impossible. But what if the universe is smarter than that? The universe may have built-in safety locks. One of the most enchanting ideas is the concept of the self-consistent timeline. The universe simply does not allow paradoxes to happen. Your actions in the past were always a part of the past. You were always there. You may go back with the intention of changing a major event, but you will find that a strange series of coincidences, a cascade of tiny accidents, will prevent you from ever succeeding. Or your attempt to change the event is what causes the event in the first place. You become the very reason for the history you know. Think of time as a story that has already been written. You can step into a chapter, but you cannot change the words on the page. You can only discover your own part in the narrative, a part that was always there, waiting for you to find it. Another, even more mind-expanding possibility is the multiverse. Every single decision, every random quantum event spawns a new branch in the great tree of reality. When you travel back in time and change something, you don't alter your own past. You simply step onto a new branch. You create a parallel timeline, a new reality diverging from the old one. In this new world, you may never have been born, but the you that arrived from the original timeline is still there, a living relic of a world that now exists only for you. This means every possibility, every might have been, is real somewhere. A universe where the dinosaurs never fell. A world where Rome never collapsed. An Earth where you took that other job, married that other person. They all exist in an infinite, shimmering tapestry of realities. The time traveler is not a historian, but a gardener, moving between the endless branches of the world tree. So, with all this theoretical potential, where is the evidence? Where are the time tourists from the future? Maybe they are here. They've always been here. What are UFOs and UAPs, these mysterious objects that defy our understanding of physics? Could they be vessels not from other stars, but from other times? Their ability to move in ways that seem to ignore inertia, to disappear and reappear. It sounds less like interstellar travel and more like someone manipulating local spacetime. They could be anthropologists from our far future, coming back to observe their own origins, careful not to interfere, leaving only fleeting, puzzling glimpses. And what about ghosts? The persistent stories of spectral figures, of echoes of the past, replaying in certain locations. Could these be temporal residues? A kind of psychic recording, a scar in the fabric of space-time, where a moment of intense emotion has left its imprint, occasionally visible to those who are sensitive or under the right conditions. Or perhaps they are not echoes at all, but fleeting, accidental glimpses of time travelers themselves, their presence briefly flickering into our perception. Perhaps the greatest evidence is within you, that uncanny feeling of knowing what someone will say before they say it, that powerful, unshakable premonition that saves you from disaster, that profound sense of connection with a place you've never been or a person you've just met, as if you've known them for 1,000 years. What if these are not coincidences? What if they are the subtle, gentle proof that the boundaries between past, present, and future are not as solid as we believe? That on some level, deep in our quantum consciousness, we are all already time travelers, dipping our toes into the vast ocean of time. The possibility of time travel forces us to ask the biggest questions. What is reality? What are we? If the future can reach back and touch the past, then destiny and free will are not opposites, but partners in a cosmic dance more complex than we can imagine. We stand today at the shore of this new ocean, The science is nascent. The mystical path is shrouded in mystery, but the potential is infinite. The journey to master time is the ultimate human journey. It is the quest to understand our place, not just in the universe, but in the entire timeline of existence. It is the search for our own story, from beginning to end, and every moment in between. It may not happen in our lifetime. It may require technologies we can barely dream of, or a mastery of consciousness that takes centuries to achieve. But the seeds are being planted now, in the equations of physicists, in the visions of mystics, and in the yearning of every human heart that has ever looked at an old photograph and wished, just for a moment, to step into it. The river of time may be an illusion, and we are not leaves. We are the ones who will learn to sail. If this journey through the possibilities of time captivated your imagination, if it made you look at the world a little differently, then do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps this channel grow and allows us to explore these incredible ideas together. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because we are just getting started. The universe is full of mysteries, and we're going to explore every single one of them. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What do you think? Is time travel possible? Would you go to the past or the future? What moment in history would you most want to witness? The conversation is one of the best parts of this. Finally, if your curiosity about the nature of reality has been ignited, if you want to dive even deeper into the ideas of parallel worlds, cosmic consciousness, and the true architecture of the multiverse, I invite you to check out my book, Holographic Multiverse. We've only scratched the surface today. The book is a guided tour through the most astounding implications of modern physics and ancient wisdom, all pointing toward a universe that is far more magical and interconnected than we ever believed. The link is waiting for you in the description below. Thank you for watching, for wondering, and for being a time traveler in your own right. Until next time, keep looking up and keep looking through time.